Hi everybody, this is a little video that I said I would do for you that goes along with my celebration bunting kit that we did in this month's little box of crochet. So what we're going to be doing is I want to show you the way that I do tapestry crochet. Now if you have your own way of doing it, that's fine, that's great. I'm just going to show you my way because not everybody will have done tapestry crochet before. So what we're going to do is we are going to just do the bottom few rows of the Union Jack pattern, the graph that's in your book. It doesn't matter that we're doing the Union Jack. It doesn't matter if you are doing the floral bunting or the crown, whatever graph you're doing. The reason I'm choosing to use the Union Jack as you know, the one that I'm going to use to show you how to do tapestry crochet is because there are the three colours within the Union Jack very soon in the pattern, very early on. And so that means I'm going to get to show you how to change colour and carry all these colours. Whereas some of the others, you're just starting with one colour, you know, until you start putting the picture in. So, like I say, this is not how to make the Union Jack. This is just a video so I can show you about tapestry crochet. All right, does that make sense? So what I will say is that all of your increase rows are going to be on the back and all of your regular rows are going to be on the front. So you can see that on this, now this one's made in Starcraft. I use Starcraft when I'm doing the designs because I've got tons of Starcraft in all the colours and I can crochet a lot quicker with Starcraft. So I tend to practice it in Starcraft and then I'll switch to whatever yarn I'm using. So obviously in the little box of crochet book, you have got Rickarumi. So you've got lovely Rickarumi. I am going to be using that when we get into the demonstration here, but I just wanted you to know that this is Starcraft, okay, this example here. So you can see this is the front and this is the back. So the back is a little bit more jaggedy. You can see where I've carried the yarn up the rows here. So I make a very distinctive front and back. So when I'm working on a regular row, I hold the yarn at the back when I crochet it in. When I'm working on an increase row, I crochet the yarn in on the front. So the yarn is only ever held on one side, on this side. And then when I sew in my ends, I also sew them in on this side. So I've got a very distinct front and back. If you do it another way, that's absolutely fine. You know, you do it whatever way you've learned, or whatever way suits you. I just wanted to show you the way I do it because there's going to be a lot of people that have never done tapestry crochet. So it's all in doubles. There's nothing complicated about that, or singles if you're in the US. But what I really just want to show you is the method of how I do it. It's a little bit complicated. That's wrong. It's not complicated. It's fiddly. But once you get going, I mean, you can agree that results are just gorgeous and you're going to make some beautiful bunting. So I think it's worth persevering because I just think it makes it so much fun. All right. So, one more thing, couple more things I want to say is one, I do apologize. I don't know if you can see. I have issues with my thumbnails. When I had COVID, my nails went funny. So I don't want you to think I've got some horrible nastiness. I have COVID nail, which I didn't know was a thing, but it is, and I've got it. And the other thing I wanted to say is on row 14 of this graph, you will see that there is a white square at the beginning, but there isn't a white square at the other end. There should be. So I really apologize for that. Me nor my amazing graphic designer saw that. So I do apologize. There should be another white one, and we are going to put an amended one up on our website for subscribers. Okay. So let's begin. So here's our Rickarumi. Now, when you're doing tapestry crochet, you will find that the yarn does get tangled because you're using several colours at the same time. The good thing about doing something small in tapestry crochet is your balls of yarn are small, so you can untangle it really easily. So don't worry, don't get frustrated. So what we're going to do is we're just going to chain 2. So for all of the graphs in the book, at the beginning of the book, I showed you the pattern for just a plain pendant. So that is the same pattern that you're going to use all the way through. It's just that when you are doing the tapestry crochet, you use the same pattern, but the graph is going to tell you when to change color. All right. So we chain 2, and then we're going to do a double or a single. If you're using American terminology, we're going to do a single double crochet into the second chain from the hook. I'm so sorry if I'm seeming disjointed. I keep looking at my work and then looking at it through the camera, and I'm distracting myself, which is ridiculous. I'll get used to it. So there we go. We're going to put a single crochet in there, and on every row we're going to chain 1 and turn. So on this second row, we are going to put 3 doubles into our double from the previous row. So 1, 2, 3. So that is our increase row now, but we're not changing color yet. Then we're going to chain 1, and after an increase row, we have a row of 1 in each. So we're going to put 1, 2, 3. Now we are not going to complete this third double. I need to stop looking through the screen and look at my work. We're not going to complete this third double because the next row is an increase row, and on the next row we're starting with white. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put this down for a second. I'm going to grab my white yarn. I should have had them on the other side, shouldn't I? Oops, sorry. Let's not get this tangled up too early. I'm going to wrap this round my hand as though I'm already using it. And I'm going to hold it behind my work. And I'm going to pick up the cream and I'm going to pull it through. Okay. So when you look at the top, it's still the raspberry colour, but I've pulled through the cream. Just like when you change colour in amigurumi. Same thing. So we are going to chain 1 in the cream. Now, I know that this is an increase row, so I need to crochet my ends in on the front. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give these tails a little tug to make sure they're tight. I'm going to go under both of these tails, the cream and the raspberry, and I'm going to go into that first stitch, and I'm going to do my first double. Okay, but I am not going to complete that double because we're going to switch color. So what I'm going to do is, because we're crocheting the we're carrying the colors, I should say, or crocheting your ends in, however you want to say it, we're doing it on the front because it's an increase row. So I'm going to pull that cream yarn across my work. This is how I do it. You don't have to do it like this. Then I'm going to pick up the raspberry and I'm going to complete that stitch. And then I am going to do 1 raspberry stitch in the middle. No, I'm not. I'm going to do, it's an increase. I'm going to do 1 raspberry stitch into the same place that I did the cream stitch. Then I'm going to do a raspberry stitch in the middle stitch. And then I'm going to do the raspberry stitch in the third stitch, but I'm not going to complete it. I'm going to pull that raspberry across. Make sure you pick up the right cream tail, because this one we're just crocheting in. I'm going to pick up the cream. I'm going to switch. I'm going to change to cream. And then in that same stitch, I'm going to do a cream as well. Now I am going to pull this through because I know on the next row I need the cream to start off with. So I have done that row. So one cream, one pink, one pink, one pink, one cream. So a cream and pink as an increase on both ends. But I crocheted all my ends in at the front, not at the back, like you would normally. Then I'm going to chain one. The next row is just one in each. So I'm going to turn the work. But now I can crochet, or I can carry my colour along the back. I'm not going to carry this cream tail anymore. I'll sew that in later. But I am going to carry the raspberry colour. So we're going to follow the same colour scheme. So we're going to do one cream. Drop the cream, but you don't have to pull it across now because we're doing it at the back. Pick up the raspberry, pull it through to complete that stitch, and then do one raspberry in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, but in this third one, don't complete your stitch. You're going to drop the raspberry, pick up the cream, and complete that stitch in the cream. Just give a slight, you don't want to pull it too tight, give a little tug on the raspberry to make sure it's tidy, and then your last stitch is going to be in cream. Now what we need to know now is the next row cream or is it going to be blue? So we're going to take a quick look at the graph. So the next row, so I've done my rows of raspberry, I've done my 2 rows of raspberry with white. So the next row we're going to change to blue. Okay, so I'm going to do that. So I can't complete that cream because I want to end it in blue, so we turn in blue. So I'm going to drop my cream, take my blue yarn, wrap that around my hand, put it behind my work, pick up the blue, pull it through to complete the cream, give a gentle little tug on that cream. Then we are going to chain 1 and turn. Now we're back onto an increase row. So now we want all of our tails to be at the front instead of at the back. And I have got to crochet in this blue tail. So in the first 2 stitches, we need a blue and then a cream. So I'm going to go under all my tails. I'm going to go into the white stitch. And I'm going to do a blue stitch. And then I'm not going to complete it. I've got the 2 blue loops on my hook. I'm going to pull the blue yarn across to the front. Hold it with my thumb. And then I pick up the cream. And I complete that stitch in cream. And I give the blue a little tug just to tighten it up. And then I'm going to go into that same stitch because this is an increase row. So I'm going to go back into that cream stitch with a cream stitch. But then we're not completing it in cream because then we've got to change to raspberry. So I'm going to pull it across. I'm going to pick up the raspberry, complete that cream stitch. And now I know I've got 3 raspberry stitches, one in each of the next 3 stitches. So I'm going under all my tails and I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 raspberry. But I'm not going to complete that raspberry. I'm going to pull that raspberry across, hold it with my thumb, pick up the cream, complete my raspberry stitch, and then go under my tails. Now I've got an increase at the end, so I've got to do 1 cream and 1 blue. So we're going to go in, do the cream, don't complete it, pull the cream across. Make sure you don't pick up the tail of the blue, you pick up the running yarn, the using yarn. What do you call it? There's probably specific name. You know what? I'm going to pull those two tails in front so I can pick it up there. That's much neater. Pick it up, pull through 2, and then I'm going to go back in that same stitch because it was an increased stitch. Just going to pull that white tight, and I'm going to do a blue stitch on the end. Now I know that the next row is blue, so I'm going to complete it quite happily in blue, chain 1 and turn. So now I'm going to ignore that blue tail. I can sew that in later, and I'm going to do a row of 1 in each. So we're carrying our colours at the back, not at the front on this row. So I'm going to go in with the blue under my yarns. Sorry, that was out of shot. Oh my. Terrible, terrible. I will get better at this. I'm so excited, and I'm showing you things, and I'm going over here, and yeah, I'm sorry. I'm here. I'm not going to move. Okay, blue. Does everyone feel seasick? I'm dropping the blue. I'm picking up the cream. Am I picking? Yes, there we go. So now I'm not pulling it in front of me because we're crocheting them in behind. And then I'm going to do 1 in the cream. Give the blue a little tug just to tighten it up. We're going to do 1 in the cream. Oh, sorry. We're going to do 1 in the cream. I've got the blue caught. Drop the cream. Pick up the raspberry. Complete in the raspberry, the cream stitch. Then we do our 3 raspberry stitches. 1, 2, 3. We don't complete that last stitch. We drop the cream. We pick up, drop the raspberry, sorry. We pick up the cream, complete the raspberry stitch, tighten it up slightly, and then we are going to do our last 2 stitches, which is a cream. Don't finish it in blue. Finish in blue. Just going to pull that cream, and then we're going to do a blue stitch on the end. She says, can we get in there? Yes, we can. Sorry. See? We all struggle. There we go. And we're going to do our final stitch in blue. Okay, so let me just pull my hook out. So these tails here, I'm going to sew in. Obviously, I'm going to sew that end one in. Let's just pull that to neaten it up. So this is our front. And this is our back. So slightly more jaggedy and a little bit more messy at the back there. And you can see where we've carried the colours. But what I will do is I will thread this blue tail, and I will chase it along the back of those, the bottom of those stitches there. And then I will take this white tail and I will chase it with my needle along the back of there, and then I'll snip them off. So the colours have gone all the way that way where I've crocheted them in, and then I've sewn them in all the way back. But all of my workings out, as it were, are on the back. So this is the front. So I know it seems a little bit fiddly, but tapestry crochet is so useful because you can do all kinds of pictures in your work. And obviously it lends itself to being a lot smaller rather than C to C, where obviously if you're doing corner to corner, you can put a picture in something, but that's normally for a blanket because you're working on a much bigger scale. Whereas you can put little pictures in anything. So I really, really hope that helped. Tapestry crochet, I love it. It's fiddly, but so worth it. So I hope you enjoyed that, and you will now be seeing lots more little videos. We will also do reveals on our YouTube. We'll still do them on Instagram and Facebook, but we'll do our monthly reveals on YouTube as well. And we'll do some little how-to videos for you. So yeah, enjoy, and thank you for purchasing your little box of crochet. Okay, bye-bye.